Hello and welcome to All About Spain with me, Barry Hayler. I've been living in the Costa Blanca for the last 10 years, almost 10 years, so I know the area pretty good. So if you want to follow me on YouTube, please subscribe and please like, and I think you'll find all the nice things that I know. Thanks very much. Hello and welcome to All About Spain with me, Barry Hayler. Today we're in Xàtiva. It's a really old town. It's where the Borgias lived and had control of lots of Spain. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, please subscribe and please ring the bell. Thank you. Okay, this morning we're in Xàtiva in the Valencian region of Spain, and we're going to be having a good old walk around today. There's lots of these little streets that we can see in front of us, and it should be quite an interesting morning, hopefully. It really is a nice place, very historic. So we're going to have a walk around to see what we can find for you today. They have a castle here, which a lot of people come in, obviously have a look around. And it's a 12th century castle. And if you want to bring the family here, adults are €2.40 to get into the castle, and children, I believe, are free up to 10 years. So it could be a cheap little excursion out to come here. But we'll have a wander around. There's lots of historical buildings here. This is where the two Borja popes were born, and they both were born here and lived here for all their lives. They were a very powerful family in Spain, so I think most people maybe might have watched the Borja series on TV, which I did, found it quite interesting. So it's going to be an interesting tour around, I think, today. So we have a beautiful spire, church spire in front of us with a clock on it, and not sure exactly what it is. Well, it's obviously a church, of course, but it's rather pretty. It's obviously been renovated over the years because it's in pristine condition compared to a lot of the buildings here. There's traffic going all through these little streets, so you have to be aware of that. But they're not going very fast, so it's not that dangerous if you're walking around the town. But I think this building in front has definitely been renovated at some point, because it's obviously old, but it looks quite new as well at the same time. And out into bright sunshine. Another building here, like the sort of, almost like the town hall here. So there are lots of brides' dresses in these shops here. So obviously a lot of weddings going on in Xàtiva. This is another little street we've come up, which is very pleasant. Got an area on our left hand side here for sitting, relaxing. But there's a lot of shops here. It's quite nice around these back areas. It's quite quiet. You've got some different shops as well. You know, it's nice to have a different selection, possibly artisan shops, which is something different that we can look at rather than your normal retail outlets. So we've stumbled across this sunken, well, I suppose you'd call it a sunken park, but it's they've got some lovely plants here, and they've got I think it's called a reel, which goes through the centre with the water in it, which is rather nice. It's somewhere for obviously people to sit, have their lunch. just chill out, read a paper or whatever. But it has some beautiful colours in here. And I think the water, as water does, it just tends to relax you quite a bit. But that is that's lovely. It's right in the middle of the centre of Xàtiva. Yeah, that's really nice. So we're outside one of the bar stroke restaurants here, but it's just the buildings that these places are in. They're absolutely lovely. They really are. Look at it. Fucking state of that. Beautiful building this is. And then underneath you have a cafe stroke restaurant where people are sat out enjoying their breakfast this morning. Lovely sunny morning in Xàtiva. It's a real sprawling town, this one. You know, you can wander around for hours. I think to do it properly, if you're going to visit, I would get a map, very handy. But if you're going to come and stay here, the hotels here are not mega expensive. You get a double room for a night for as little as 50 euros, or if you want to pay up to 100, you can do for a night. And there are lots and lots of hotels here to choose from, and lots of restaurants as well, so you can choose whatever type of food you want. I would always recommend Spanish if you're coming to Spain, you know, just to try it, you know, if you've not tried it before. Until you experience it, you really don't know what it's like. So it's definitely worth trying the local cuisine. And there's different areas that do different things. It's not the same thing right way through the country. If you're in the north, it's different. If you're in the south, it's different. In the south, there's a lot of tourism, so they tend to stick to dishes that people, or they think people like. But you go out to these places, in the Valencia region, and it totally changes. So it's always worth trying something when you're in this area. So we moved along a bit further now, and these trees that they've got streets lined with really keeps a cool feeling, you know, out of the sun, because it's warming up here. It's going to be forecast today, I think, about 32, 33 degrees. But because of these trees, you've got so much shade here, which really does help if you're walking around like we are. And also it's, you know, where everyone's sat having their food and drinks, which obviously makes it a bit cooler as well for that. But it's we've come into a really busy section here. There's lots of shops here, lots of retail shops here in Xàtiva, like all these big places. In the summer, in August, so it's a couple of months away, a couple of months away now, there's a big festival, the fires, and they have street markets, street food. They have a fun fair for the children, lots of various things for the children. But it's all lots of cabins they use, and you can walk around and you can eat, and there's lots of entertainment going on as well. And it goes on for 5 days, you know, in August, and it's from the 15th to the 20th of August it's on, and it's certainly worth a visit to come here at that point, because I think you'd have a good week's entertainment here, and you can stay in a nice hotel and enjoy the whole 5 or 6 days here.